We have a voicemail number. That number is 2192 David P. Here's a caller who is worried about me, and I always appreciate concern from people in the audience.
Hey, David, it's James. I was watching some of your earlier videos from, I guess not super earlier, but videos from a couple of years ago.
Right.
One in particular stands out. I believe it was called Caller Needs Help with Jewish Person. And you seem like you were in a much better place. You were in much higher spirits at the time. You seem
Really?
more joyful than you have recently. I was wondering, are you all right? Did something happen? You seem kind of down in the dumps recently.
Well, I
Hope you're all right,
appreciate the
man.
concern. Nothing in particular has happened. Certainly, the state of affairs in the United States is quite sad. That is true. So I think it would be logical, as someone who's steeped in how things are going, to be sort of concerned. But at the same time, the video that the caller is referring to, I believe happened while Trump was president, which was certainly a dark time in American history. So no, I appreciate the concern. Nothing in particular is wrong. I mean, listen, let's be honest. Chasing around a baby is exhausting. So if anything could be blamed for tiredness or whatever, certainly it would be that. But no, everything is fine. Thanks for asking. On the bonus show today, folks, we have a fantastic bonus show today. I just got back from a wedding in California. I am going to talk about elements that took place on the flight, some unfortunate confrontations that took place. Not good. I'm going to talk about running into some really nice folks who watched the show while I was in the Bay Area of California. Met some great people just by chance. There was no event or anything. Just ran into some great people. I am going to talk about, what else am I going to talk about? I have stories. I have stories from California. We are also going to talk about an investigation into the cause of the implosion of that Titanic submersible. We're going to discuss that. And also, Japan has a plan to boost birth rates. We've talked about the plan before. Is it a viable plan? We're starting to gather data. One city has reason to hope that this is a good plan for Japan to raise birth rates, where birth rates are getting dangerously low from a political standpoint. All of those stories and more will be in none other than today's bonus show.
Oh, the bonus show where you want to make money.
Yeah.
Everybody else that makes money to fund themselves is bad.
And of course, after being back for one day, I will be off for the next 3 weeks. No, I'm kidding. We're back. We're back for a while before the next break. It's not even really a break anymore. By the way, let's just talk a little bit about the guest hosts. Every time we have guest hosts, I get emails. All right. I'm going to tell everybody right now. I know that not everybody likes the guest hosts. I know it because every guest host we have, no matter what, we get emails from people saying, I couldn't bear to watch it. Some people liked Luke, but they didn't like Pat. Some people liked Pat, but they didn't like Luke. Some people didn't like either. Some people said both were fine, but it wasn't that good. So I'm just going to put it out there. We used to have no shows when I would be away. It wasn't really robust. One of the things I've wanted to do is have a more robust show that can continue when I'm gone. We now have multiple people who can do the producer role. We have a rotating cast of guest hosts. I understand, and I'm flattered that when I'm gone, some people say, David, I'd rather have you here. And that makes sense because you're watching this show or listening to this show rather than some other show. So I get that, and I love that, and I'm flattered by it. But you don't have to email me that you don't like the guest hosts or all of the guest hosts, because I know that not everybody likes them. Viewership goes down when we have a guest host. But my opinion is, and people in the audience seem to agree, it's better to have a guest host rather than no show or a repeat show, because if it's part of your routine to listen to a podcast on the way to work, on the way to the gym, whatever, and you don't necessarily want to find something else, we have something there. And I think viewership is usually down about 30% when we have guest hosts, which isn't really that bad, I have to tell you. All right. So you can always email for any reason, but if you're just emailing in to say, hey, I didn't like the guest hosts, we know, we see that in the data, and we're going to continue working to have a great rotating slate of hosts that will hold down the fort until I get back. All right, more about my trip on the bonus show. We'll be back tomorrow. We have a very strong week of programming ahead.